So traders, huge swings in the market today. And for my last few videos I've been doing for the last probably couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks now, is about what's happening in the markets right now and why we should be getting a really nice movement back to the upside out of the stock market. And it's one of the markets that I've been focusing on myself. And today had a really nice sort of slingshot move back to the upside. I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about what's happening with gold and also the silver market. Also, I want to talk to you about the oil and energy market because there's still could be something really nicely setting up with those markets here. And I want to give you a bit of a wrap up about these markets, and let's go straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. So I've just recorded a brand new trading course and I'm giving you a free access to this. This is broken down into 4 different parts. Part number 1 is about the foundations, the biggest mistakes you're making right now, what goes into a good trader. Part number 2 is about the chart reading techniques that's been working since the 1950s. This chart reading, part number 3, advanced chart reading, is about the techniques that I've actually only learned from my Millionaire Mentor, not from books. And then also my number 1 top trading system mastery. I give you all of that for free and I'm giving it to you. So go to johnsfreegift.com right now or click on the very first link in the description. Alrighty, so let's actually start off with this level here, okay? So let's go to this level here. And let's start off with the good old stock market, and we're going to get into this level here. So one of the really big things I've been really sort of focusing on over my last sort of maybe couple of weeks now is not about being right, but being in a position where I had the highest probability of making a profit, right? So for example, right now, my number 1 thing around my positioning anyway, and what I've been very public, is that I've been getting into the markets, or I'm in long on the markets on this dip on the downside. I've been very public about that. I got in on an individual stock, and that individual stock is now up huge amounts today. It's an option position. I'm up close to 100% return just from today alone. And it's got a lot more to go, I see there and that's one individual stock. Now I can't tell you what that stock is because it's obviously meant for my inner circle members, right? That's the reason why my inner circle members pay me, because then I'm, that's what the whole inner circle coaching program is all about. That's what they invest good money for, right? So it's only fair that I keep that a secret, but rest assured that that's what me and my inner circle members are doing. But for you guys on YouTube, okay, and what I'm doing here for free on YouTube to help you guys out, I really hope you can start to see some of the things I've been talking about when it comes to the stock market and the tools and the techniques that I've been utilizing to help me say we're likely to get a movement back to the upside real soon. Now, I didn't know how that was going to happen. All I did know is I was very confident in seeing a move back up. I didn't expect today to happen. To be honest, I expected probably a little bit more weakness, and then maybe moving into next week, we'd actually start the slow bounce. I didn't expect an extraordinary, like an actual slingshot move back to the upside. But as you know, I've been really getting my number 1 theme around the actual stock market has been, this is so far outstretched on the downside. We're so overbought. The fear and greed index was at 4 at the time. I said, we're getting very close to a bottom here. I don't know when the bottom is going to be. And one of the big things I was really bringing towards the forefront, and hopefully you're hearing this, was the best way to position yourself in this environment is not about short-term trading. If you're trying to short-term trade the stock market, especially in the last couple of weeks, you have been getting your head handed to you because of the volatility. And that's what I've been doing for my actual coaching clients. I've been really helping them, my inner circle members, because I'm with them every single day. The inner circle members, I've been telling them that this is the time not to be flimsy, not to be impatient, and not to have a low standard. Now's the time to incorporate a lot of patience in your trading and wait for the market to set up. For me personally, I was waiting for the market to set up the last couple of weeks, and it has. I'm long the markets right now. Now, I'm not long the indices. I'm long an individual stock right now. It was one of the best stocks out there that I could go long on, and I went long on a very nice large position from there. And again, that's doing really well so far from there. And it has the potential of probably being my most successful trade. We're talking huge amounts of money over the next couple of weeks. So we'll see how that all plans out. Though the whole thing I really want to sort of bring home to you here is one of the best things that I've been sort of moving, and I've been talking about this on my YouTube videos for you guys, is to not be looking at short-term movements here, but try to position yourself and not try to pick the bottom, but just be really confident that we're going to see a bounce out of the markets like we have seen here, right? Dow Jones, very nice move to the upside. NASDAQ, very, very, very strong move back to the upside. Okay, same for the S&P 500, very strong move to the upside. And so one thing I've been really one of the biggest lessons I've been saying to people is that now this environment is not for short-term trading. If you're trying to get in and get out on a day trading basis, you have been getting absolutely destroyed. And that's what I've been, even for myself, with my trading system, I've been very, very, very picky about the trades that I get into. Hence, I haven't had a lot of trades, but I'm really, really, really positive on my entire account this year because I have been very selective this year. And one of the things that I was saying to you guys is the best way to position yourself in these markets is be ready for the swing. And be ready for the swing over the next couple of months. I didn't know how this was going to form, but I was really confident over the next 1 to 2 months, we would have been experiencing a very nice rise in the markets. When that happens, I just want to make sure that I'm in the market to benefit from that rise. Make sense? And again, I didn't expect to see today happen. I didn't expect it to be such a big movement. I actually expected a little bit more downside to come this week, and then maybe next week we start to form a bit of a bottom, and then moving into maybe the late of April, maybe in the May, then we start to pick back up. I didn't expect such a strong move to the upside today. So I really hope you can see here from, if you've watched my videos for the last week, I hope you can see from the techniques I've been teaching you and the way I've been looking at the rhythm of the markets, especially by looking at the weekly charts, right? What I've been talking about the weekly charts is we're so far extended from the moving average, etc., 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 right? All this sort of stuff. I hope you can see here of the techniques I've been teaching you and the things I've been warning you about is how to get involved in the markets. And this is the time to have a very big patient cap on and not be trading a lot, just sitting back and let the market unfold for a month or two. And if you've had the ability to be able to be patient, you are benefiting from this market really nicely today. And it's setting yourself up, as I said before, like I haven't had many trades today. I haven't had many trades this entire year, but you know, it's been one incredible, really my entire account is very, very, very nicely on the green side because of my patience here. And so as we can see, we're getting the really nice rise to the upside. So we're not out of the, what's called the woodworks yet. Okay. We're not out of the woodworks yet. But so far to see the strong bounce we're getting out of the S&P 500 where we are right now, this is a very, very, very nice positive sign, right? A nice positive sign to see where we're at right now. Now we want to see what it does though over the next couple of weeks, right? Yes, we're getting a nice strong rise and I was expecting a nice rise. I didn't expect it to be strong. I actually expected it maybe to take a week, what it did in one day. So we want to see what it does around these levels here, okay? What does it do around these levels here? Do we blast straight back up? Is this a V bottom action? Right? And so if I let's actually bring up my daily charts here. This is my daily charts. Is this some sort of V bottom action? Let's remove everything off the screen here for a minute. If we start to do, and we just keep going and going and going like that, guess what, guys? My target of 7,000, because I have a 7,000 target on the S&P 500. That's what I have by the end of this year. Okay. And I've even made a trailer video about that. For the last few weeks, I've been getting some heat about it. And the little munchkins in the chat box have been doing their thing. And that's okay, right? That's okay. So we want to see what happens here. If this is some sort of V-bottom here, get ready for a very, 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 very strong finish at the end of the year, if we do get this. And people that were thinking what you were thinking down here, fear, greed, World War III, the market crashed, that's it, it's all over, the recession. The Munchkins, that sort of narrative, how fast things can change in one day. So I hope we can see that through here of what we're actually looking at here in the market. So that's what I want to see. I want to see some really nice follow through. If we don't, then this actually could be a significant top in the markets. And once again, I want to start to see this thing move up, slow down, and then roll back to the downside. Now, when it comes down to I want before I get onto gold and silver and the oil market here, I want to share something with you. Trading is not about being right. Trading is just about being in the position that's going to give you the best chance of making a profit, right? So I know, for example, if I got into looking at a new gold trade right now would be very risky. Very, 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 very risky. Hence the reasons why I'm not in the gold and silver market now for trading purposes, right? I'm in the stock market for trading purposes, meaning I'm in it for a trade. Now, trading for me, guys, is I'm getting in and I'm ideally holding it for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or more, jumping on a big profit, and that's how you make big profits throughout the year, right? It's not a lot of trades, but trying to get in on something, hold it for a month or two, ride a big move, jump out, and that's how you make a big profit, not by trading 10 times, by trading one time and jumping on a big move. So we're looking at this gold thing through here, and I hope you can see here that trading's not about being right or wrong, because no one definitely knows what's going to happen, but the best probability, especially right now, for me to incorporate some trading opportunities hasn't been gold, because gold has already made the big move. We've talked about this a few times, right? This here, what I'm looking at with gold right now, this is actually very, very, very dangerous territory through here with gold, because we're still being very, very, very high through here. I don't expect too much more upside to come out of gold because we've just already had such a big move from here. So if I was looking at, okay, I want the best chances of actually generating a profit on my trades, what would that be? And that is obviously hence the reasons if you actually look at the stock market has already had the pullback to support, and now we're getting the bounce. So if we look at the actual gold price through here, I don't hate gold, right? I don't wish gold to crash. I'm just telling you that there's a high probability we're likely to at least come back down towards the moving average. Because see, it's the same technique, right? Market gets too far away from the moving average, we're now overbought, we're likely to at least come back to it. S&P 500, market got too far below it, meaning oversold, and we're likely to come back to it. It's the same techniques. Hence, we're starting to see these things starting to slowly unfold. So trying to be long gold right now would be very, very, meaning trying to get into a new position would be very, very, very risky. Because of this here. You're trying to get in on that last few percent of the move. If you want to get in on gold, wait for a nice correction, right? Wait for one of these Dubulaki things. See this thing here for 2 or 3 months, or 2 or 3 months, or 2 or 3 months? Wait for one of these guys, because they will come. If you want to get into a new gold position, wait for at least a little bit of a pullback. Wait for the pullback first, right? You want to get up, wait for the pullback, get in. Wait for the pullback, get in. Wait for the pullback. You see what I'm saying there, right? So that's what we're seeing through there when it comes to the good old market itself. Now, the one thing I really am sort of focusing on right now is the oil market. One of the big things I've been saying is get ready for an oil drop, oil drop, oil drop, oil drop. Now, let's look at this here, okay? Let's do some nice analysis here on the markets, right? So this is oil here. And let's actually bring this up to the daily charts. I want to blow this up to the daily charts. We're getting a nice little short-term movement upside, which, by the way, is magical, okay? Now, the thing is oil has broken to the downside. So what's probably likely going to happen out of the oil market is we're getting an update today, but it's not the start of a move to the upside. Right? It's not the start of a move to the upside. I don't believe that. See this moving average here? What we're probably likely going to get out of these markets from here is we're probably likely to see this moving average come down through to here somewhere, like that. And we're likely to maybe just potentially start to do some sideways movement, and then we get something like that, and then the water works. So for you guys that know my trading system, and if you don't, in that free trading course, the very first video you get is a 25-minute video walking through the exact pattern. So don't tell me you weren't ready for the next amazing short opportunity when it comes to the oil in the energy sector, because there could be some amazing opportunities, because I literally teach you my system for free, right? You have no excuses. Go learn the system. And then your job is to focus on the pattern. Teaching the system is the easy part. You understanding the system is the easy part, because I only use the market and one moving average, right? What is hard? You actually then focusing on it. And not letting the external events, which you've probably been seeing over the last couple of weeks, the external events have been swaying your emotions. And I've been trying to really bring home that the emotions of the fear and the recession talks and, you know, all that sort of stuff has been an absolute dead dog in the market, right? And it's the contrarian thing. Hence the reason why I've been really saying, guys, get ready for a nice move up out of the stock market. And hence today, slingshot move to the upside, and it could be the start of a very big move all to all-time new highs. That's the stock market. But looking at this oil market here, guys, as we can see this all through here right now, and this is what we're looking for from here. Okay, and then so that's that market through there. If I go to XLE now, XLE, and we'll bring this up to here, the same sort of thing of what I'm happening with the XLE. You want to be cautious around trying to go long on oil and XLE, because we're not in a very big strong bull market like the overall stock market is. Let me show you what I mean here. Okay, so if we look at this here, we know that this has been in a very big sort of rounding top formation here, right? Sort of slowing down, and now we've dropped to the downside. This drop to the downside, it's possibly the start of, because what can happen is we go sideways for a bit, we drop down, we rally up, and then we start to see this thing on the downside, right? So this here is the lower high. I'm guessing, or we have a really good high probability of this now making a lower high and then starting to see a movement on the downside. I'm seeing energy and oil going through that same environment. Same with the oil market, right? The oil market is doing what? Significant lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and then a breakdown. So the overall trend has been down with oil. If we go to the stock market, what has the stock market been? The overall trend has been what? Up. Nice move up, nice move down. Nice move up, nice move down. Overall, right? Yes, we have these short little swings through here, but you can see overall, right? We've got a nice move up, nice move down. So I'm expecting something like that to come out of the markets from there when it comes to that there. And if we go back to the oil market, so we see this here, we see a drop to the downside. The reason why I've been very confident in getting into a good trading opportunity in the last few weeks for the stock market and not these other markets has been because the overall stock market still is in a nice little strong upward movement from here. We're still in very strong bullish territory at this particular time, where oil has been clearly moving on the downside. So has XLE. So looking at this level through here, yes, we did drop down. This is probably going to be, looking at the oil market, this is probably going to be, and especially by looking at that weekly chart, we're probably going to get this moving average come down through here, probably going to get something like that, and then we're probably going to see something like that. Once again, guys, there's amazing shorting opportunities in the market, and there's amazing buying opportunities in the market. The stock market is what I've been saying for the last few weeks, is I believe we're getting ready for, I didn't know the exact bottom, but I didn't need to know the exact bottom to make money out of the markets, right? What do I need to know? Okay, we're probably going to get a rise soon. All I know is I need to be in the market, so when that rise does happen, hence today, I can benefit from that and make money. So by you guys short-term trading, get in, out. Me, I'm just like, no. A few weeks ago, I went long the market. I actually went long in individual stock. And that individual stock today, really nicely up to the upside as I got in a few weeks ago, and that trade is doing really nicely for me. So as you can see, I wasn't trying to time the market. I was getting in, and I knew over the next 2-3 months we're going to get the rise, and when that rise does happen, just like today, I can make the profits. See the differences between you guys that are short-term trading, get in, get out the same day. For me, I'm just trying to make sure, okay, I want to be in the market, so when the market does rise, I'm going to make a nice little profit. And that's how I know that I'm really confident in actually generating a nice return especially over the next couple of months as this volatility continues. So we see this through here with oil and the same thing. And so this same analysis applies to all markets, and that includes Bitcoin, right? By looking at the weekly charts here. And the weekly charts are this. Same with Bitcoin. So I'm expecting Bitcoin to have a nice rise to the upside. Why? Bitcoin's actually in a very strong bull market. And this is where your weekly chart and the forest from the trees, this is the reason why I squeeze my weekly charts up like this here, so I can get like a good 5-year view. Because what am I trying to see here? I'm trying to see the forest from the trees. Because as you move up, move down. This is a weekly chart, by the way. This here was always 1 year worth of move up. And all this thing was just to move down, wasn't it? To create a higher low. Then it moved up. Now what are we doing? Now we're moving back down. So what is this? Higher low. And the same for here as well too, higher low. So even though we're getting this move down, one of the biggest mistakes that most amateur traders miss is they miss the forest from the trees. And they see this period through here as that's it, the market's crashing, it's all over. But there's a very big, massive cycle that's happening behind the short-term analysis from a lot of people, right? And what I'm talking about is that if a lot of people are focusing on, or we're focusing on, this movement on the downside here with Bitcoin, right? So they're focusing on this down move here, but if you understand that this whole down move is just a that's the downward move, but all this is doing is creating the trend on the bigger time frame. So yes, we're probably likely to see that coming out of Bitcoin soon, right? And you can see here we have, this is how X marks the spot for support. But you can just see up, down, high, low, up, down. This is just a strong upward trend, very strong upward trend. So even though we're getting this level here, you'd be expecting one, the pullback to happen, the drop to happen. But secondly, you wouldn't be worried about the next move to the up. You wouldn't be worried about this here because you know there's a big probability that there's a massive wave, the higher low, and higher low. And this is what this weekly chart over here is the key, is the biggest key to keeping you calm. And the daily charts, and especially the hourly charts, can create a lot of movement. But the big picture on these weekly charts, stock market and so on and so forth, can give you some really good keys around the market. So I hope this helps you out there today, traders. Traders, if you're struggling this year and you need some help, then you might be good for my weekly coaching program. It's the Inner Circle coaching program where I'm actually with you every single week to help you through these markets overall. If you want to get access to that, guys, then go to getjohnshelp.com, getjohnshelp.com. That's an application form. Go fill out the form, guys, and I look forward to speaking to you on the phone real soon.